upcoming weekend. So,
Welcome to the return of the Disc Golf Show with Brian and Sevan. On today's show, we'll be talking about the United States Disc Golf Championships, which Brian will be in attendance for this week. Brian, welcome back to the show. Tell us about your favorite sport that draws billions of viewers to the internet on a daily basis.
yeah, billions. Wow. Going to South Carolina this weekend with my brother to watch. Actually, I think I'm going to meet up with Ezra Aderholt, who we interviewed a couple months ago.
That's cool. I tried to get that other guy on who won the
Simon?
No, you sent me. I'd never heard of his name before, but you told me he won the national championships or something. I tried to get him on.
Oh, Isaac Robinson.
Is that who it is? Okay, yeah. He didn't
World
have very many
Championships.
followers. Yeah.
No, he picked up a lot more that week, though.
I'm tripping on how my skin looks. Look, I'm gonna click touch up my appearance. Look at, I just put a filter on. Can you tell the difference? Oh yeah, my wrinkles in my forehead go away. And then
You do that for me?
And then you could do it. Oh, I wonder if I can do that for you. Hey, welcome. Where are you?
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh, I think that's where Cobra Rhodes lives.
Who?
Cobra Rhodes, actor, arm wrestler, Renaissance man, friend of mine, Cobra.
Have you had him on the show?
I think
if his name is Cobra, like, you got to get him on the show.
I know. I think maybe I've sent him a link and he's popped in before. But
So, yes.
I can't remember. Brian Friend. Do you live by Toka Falls?
Do you know where that is?
No, do you?
No, I feel like you might be pranking me.
Okay, it's possible. Let me see. I'm going to put it into the map here really quick. Are you in Indiana?
Masters Fitness Championship just ended tonight.
Oh, you were at that? It's for the Masters Fitness Collective.
Last year was called Masters Fitness Collective. This year it's called Masters Fitness Championship.
But it's put on by the people. What's the name of the organization that puts it on?
Masters Fitness Championship, I think, or at least Masters Fitness.
All right, fine. Okay, Toka Falls is here. There's Madison. It's that red dot. It's in Georgia.
Oh, I live in Charlotte, which you can see over there on the right side. I'm going there tomorrow for the first time since August 15th.
Where's Charlotte?
Like northeast of where the red is. A little further right than that.
Is Spartanburg, is that where Crash Crucible is?
Yeah. And Rock Hill, to the right of that, is where the U.S. Disc Golf Championship is.
Oh, there's Charlotte. I see it. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. God, how stoked are you that it's right in your hood?
Yep. So my brother will come down. He'll stay with me, and we'll just drive back and forth every day. It's like 40 minutes.
How far is
it? It's at Winthrop University. Spartanburg's about 90 minutes, and then there's Greenville over there. So
Spartanburg's 90 minutes from Charlotte. So Taylor and JR are 90 minutes apart?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, shit. For some reason, I thought they were a little bit closer, but that makes sense that they're further apart. That explains some things. Audrey, Brian, my sweetest angel.
Yeah, but you didn't make the bed last night, Audrey.
Yeah. Audrey, what are you doing? You left in a hurry.
Or this morning, I guess it would have been.
What's going on? Farm Fit 8th. Hey, what's up? How are you? 8th is better than 9th, I guess. Or 8th could be just perfect.
My birthday's on the 8th, so thank you.
Patrick Clark, even with Rogers, I don't think they would stand a chance against KC. Okay, sports talk. Okay, before we get into CrossFit stuff. So how many years were you born? How many years have you lived in Chicago? Or did you live in Chicago?
I lived there from 1987 when I was born until 2005 or 6 when I went to college.
Okay. And then you went back?
I spent a year there in 2013, and then I was there from like 2018-ish until this past May. Or actually, I guess I moved in end of June.
So that gives us 3, 10, and 5. That's 18 years. And then we'll give you 19, and then we'll give you 5 more. That's 24 years. In those 24 years, did you ever get into the Chicago Bears? That's a National Football League, also known as the NFL. That's their local team.
They won the Super Bowl 2 years before I was born in 1985. They went to the Super Bowl. Someone can check me on this in like 2007 or 8. They played against the Indianapolis Colts. They returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, and then they got pummeled by Peyton Manning the rest of the game. And they've been relatively worthless every other year.
Okay, and that year they won 85, 86. I think I remember they had a guy named the Refrigerator, and then they had another guy named Jim McMahon or something, John McMahon or John McEnroe or
Jim
something like
McMahon,
that.
yeah.
Jim
Jim
McMahon, yeah.
You got it right the first time.
So now
John McEnroe was their coach.
and do you know anything about how they're doing this year? No, their coach.
Not very well. I think they
Yeah.
might have won against Denver today, though. I didn't check.
No, I heard they lost in the last minute.
Ah, perfect.
So
I
Chicago.
did. My friend Nico Rono in Denmark, he's a huge football fan. He said that there's a really good quarterback coming out in the draft next year, and the Bears should probably try to just lose every game so they can get the best quarterback they've ever had.
Oh, that's interesting. Look at 31-28.
There we go.
So Denver was 0-3 coming into this, and the Bears were 0-3, and now the Bears are 0-4.
Making our way towards that first pick, I guess.
Oh,
I actually think the Bears
goodness.
have a draft pick from another shitty team, so they have a chance to have like 2 early first round picks next year. But the thing is, in the NFL, you have to have a good offensive line, and I can't remember the last time the Bears had a good offensive line. That usually is the fault of or people usually blame the owners for that. So
Well, this guy, Tyson Bagent, has been on the show a few times, and Travis, his father, and I just hope that he hasn't played yet. But I spent $450 on the YouTube like NFL thing because someone said he's going to play today, but he didn't play today.
But that should allow you to watch any games throughout the rest of the season, right?
Yeah. Unless they're playing locally. If they're playing in California, I won't get to see it. It's a blackout.
Well, you can probably get a ticket to that game for less than $450.
Yeah, true. Ken Walters, I was watching this morning show, and at some point where Haley's being nice and schooling Sevan on his morning coffee, she has the sweetest voice. Sevi, you really punted your coverage. FB
That's
reference.
a football reference. And he
Really?
means you out punted your you skipped the word out. That means you kicked the ball so far that your coverage team couldn't get down the field far enough to tackle the guy, so he was able to find the holes and run it back for a touchdown. But he's basically saying that Haley's a lot better than you.
Oh, I shit the bed. That's a sports metaphor. Thank you. That was cool how you explained that. What did something did? Oh, so one of my friends, I posted a picture of myself doing some deadlifts, and one of my friends, who you guys all know, but it shall not be named, told me today that I'm like a 51-year-old guy trying to behaving like Haley Adams.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
I don't really.
Me neither.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. I saw the word Haley and I thought of it. Wad Zombie, just got to say, Brian has been coming on the show since episode 20. Wow, is that true?
I don't know. I think it made it. I don't know when you started counting the episodes, but I feel like I came on right away when you started back up.
Oh, that's awesome. It's wild to think of how much has changed over the past few years and the trajectories you both are on. Love you both. Brian shit got all cockeyed. He ended up in Europe. You need to bring a hammer, straighten his shit out, bring him back to the States, to the South.
It's wild being over there. I give Pedro a ton of credit for keeping up with as much as he does. I have had motivation for years to bridge the gap between European and North American CrossFit, but being over there for almost 3 weeks, it's like it's different, and it is very difficult to keep up with everything that's going on either side. So I've been thinking quite a lot about that since getting back.
What do you mean? Like you're over there and you're consumed by the CrossFit scene over there, as opposed to like kind of what's going on here?
Yeah, and I should say that it might not be that fair of an assessment because when you're living somewhere, like you can settle into a routine. I've been living out of a bag in hotel rooms and all this stuff, and it's really tough. And some of the places I go, there's like, I don't have any time for myself. I don't have any time to like wind down or to like catch up on the things that have happened that day or that week or whatever. But there's also a big time difference. And yeah, there's a massive CrossFit scene in Europe, from community level all the way up to elite level, just like there's in North America. I think that neither one of them has as full or complete as an understanding or appreciation for the other as they ought to have, and I would like to change that.
Well, it is kind of cool that Europe does feel that separation. I remember, I can't remember which arm wrestler who told me this, but they said, "Hey, you'll go to an arm wrestling tournament, you'll arm wrestle a guy, he'll beat you, and you'll think you'll know he's better than you. But then as time goes by, each day goes by, your memory fades of the loss, and you start building up this confidence again that you could beat him. And you've been working on new things, and you start to convince yourself, that that guy's not better than you. He was just better that day, and that you can come back and battle him again. And I bet you there's some of that goes on with Europe, right? Or just in the CrossFit space, right? I mean, like, a year gives people some time to think, hey, I can beat Laura, right? After, like, the next day, they know they can't. On Monday, they're like, she can still beat us.
They don't have to wait a year.
Oh, why do you say that?
Because we got Rogue coming up.
We do have Rogue. Before we get to Rogue, but so my point being is that maybe it's healthy that there is that space there, right? Because it allows the Europeans to think that they can beat up on other people, the Australians and the Americans, and vice versa. That there's some good,
Yeah, I mean, we might have talked about it when we talked about Madrid, but Ioannikowski was the highest finishing European male at the games this year, and he went to Madrid, and Lazar beat him. And so, and they were very aware of that. Like, they're very conscientious of who's the top dog and who's getting the best of whom where.
Who is better, do you think, right now? Better CrossFitter, Lazar, Jukic, or Ioannikowski?
I think Lazar's been more consistent over the last 3 years, but the way you worded the question, I would go with Ioannikowski. Remember that Iona beat him on 5 out of the 7 tests in Madrid. The only reason that Lazar beat him is because on the ones that Lazar beat him on, the rest of the field happened to be better than Iona at those things. So he was getting more separation on the 2 event wins that he got. And basically it came down to an execution error of Iona on the clean. He only hit 142 kilos. He missed 149 and 151, and he said those are pretty routine weights for him. So he owned it, but I think that he got him at the games. I think he was overall better than him in Madrid, even though he didn't get the win against him.
This is a little unfair, but you knew that I was going to ambush you with shit. That's the way the show goes. Can you remember how I'm going to ask you some questions about along that exact same line about Guy? I had Guy on the show, and I actually thought of this when he was on the show. Do you remember how he did at the semifinals in
this year?
Yeah, this year. Do you remember how well he did down there in South America?
Yeah, he basically lost to those 2 guys because of the first test. He got 16th, and there were a bunch of guys that middled him on that. And even though he was better than them on many of the other tests, no one else was doing as well on that because there were a lot more high skill things, which precluded those athletes from having, from getting allowing him to get the points back that he needed to overtake them after one bad event.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. That's exactly the setup I needed. So who were the 2 guys who made it? It was Kaique Cerveni and who else?
Kalian Souza.
Oh yeah, Kalian Souza. Did he make it? Did he even make it?
You just passed him. He was 32nd.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, right. Okay, here we go.
Hard to see those green flags.
Right? Thank you. That's actually a better way to look for it. Do you think that Guy beats these guys if he was
Absolutely.
at the games? Yeah. Shit.
Every time.
So you think he's a better CrossFitter than Kaique and Kalian Souza?
Yep.
Interesting.
The current format for nearly, I don't want to say for everything, but the current format for selecting athletes to the CrossFit Games is not finding the best athletes to go to the CrossFit Games worldwide, and in some cases not even within the same region. You can just look at Artur Semenov and Ant Haynes. Artur Semenov did not make the CrossFit Games. He only was able to go because Morteza Sadadkat could not get a visa to come here.
That's the guy from Iran?
Excuse me. Ant Haynes did not make the CrossFit Games.
Right.
Stop. Artur Semenov. Look at him. 39th.
Yeah.
He won Asian regional or semifinal easily. Scroll up. Keep scrolling up. Find Ant Haynes.
30th. He made the cut.
He didn't make the games.
Right, but he even made the first cut.
He got an invite 6 days before the games, traveled from China to get there, was jet lagged, and whooped up on Artur Semenov at the games.
Yeah.
The qualifying events for the CrossFit season are not currently really doing their job, in my opinion.
Okay. Now that we've fallen down the rabbit hole, you're putting it on the
program,
on the programming
and the structure of the season.
Let me push back a
I'm
little
not
bit. Why can't it just be that, hey, Ant Haynes had a bad day at semifinals, or it falls on Guy, he had a bad event. Because here, let me push
that's
even
fair.
further on this. Let me push a little further on this, Brian. They uh something that Guy said about that first event. Oh, the depth of field at that semifinals wasn't deep enough to allow Guy to have people to help him. If you look at the
Basically,
points,
well,
and so then where do you put the blame on? Right? Let me
I
pull it
would
up. Do
disagree
you get
with
what I'm
that.
saying here? The top three guys ran away. Guy's with the top three guys, and they ran away, but they only
Right. And
take
so
three
the thing,
guys or
and so
two guys.
the thing that Guy is bad at is something that's a low barrier to entry to be good at, which is aerobic capacity over a long time domain.
Okay.
The things that Guy is really good at are things that's a high barrier to entry, extremely proficient with high skill gymnastics and weightlifting. So there's not as many people that can. So the second, third, fourth best guys in those things are, there's not a big chance. There might be one random guy who's strong enough if there's a big lifting event, but there's not going to be, if there are people that are good enough to do the high skill implements that are required in, like, the ring muscle up with the ruck workout, or the legless rope climbs and strict handstand push-up workout, et cetera, then they're going to be good. They're going to be better across the board. There's just not that many of those guys there. That's not CrossFit's fault at all. That's just that, South America is coming along, and there are plenty of good guys on this list. We know who many of those people are, and some of them have been pretty good over the years in a variety of different competitions. But yeah, if basically, if you're Guimayeros, it's like you can't afford to be bad at something that most people are having a low hanging fruit to be good at, and he is right now. So that's on
What?
him.
So I'm trying to figure out if we're going to dole out the blame a little bit. What do you think about three people coming from South America?
Well, you know what I think about this. I think every competitive region should be guaranteed one spot, and that there are ways that you can implement a qualifying process within the given year of the games to distribute those spots based on their performance. And
And we're,
then
we're not quite there. The idea is there; it's just not implemented properly.
we have more. Dave Eubanks has basically said that he's going to make some changes to the way that the strength of field and worldwide rankings are structured from year one to year two. He's alluded to that at the very least, maybe even said it directly. And we're waiting to see if that happens.
Okay, we need to ask about that.
It'd be great. I don't know when the last time there's been any kind of opportunity to ask anyone at CrossFit HQ publicly about those things.
Did that guy Wexy had Don on, and he did have
I'm
some
not
games.
talking about him.
Okay.
I want to, we were doing press conferences, right? We were having Justin Berg and Adrian Bosman available during different parts of the season. I don't know if they have any plans to do any of that during the off season.
Yeah, bring us Dave and bring out Dave and Adrian to the court. We have some questions.
Or if they don't want to answer the questions, at least they could give us some information. Say, hey, yeah, we remember that we did say these things, and we're not going to do that. Justin Berg's not here anymore. Or they could say, hey, we did say that we were going to do these things, and we are. And we have some announcements coming in October and November, and we're excited for them. You guys can be on the lookout for those.
Brian's beard is back. I cannot pay attention. Tommy Rodriguez, $4.99. Brian, great meeting you. Thanks for kicking my ass in the crossover workout. Luckily, came back after that one and finished up in fourth. Were you in competition against this guy?
I was standing with Bobby Petrus, who helps put on and owns and organizes this event. And I just mentioned to him yesterday that I was in the mood to work out, and he's like, "Oh, perfect! I'll get you in a heat. What workout do you want to do?" And I was like, "Well, the only one I could even be competitive with these guys in is this crossover double under and ski erg workout." And he's like, "Okay." I'm like, "No, it's their competition. It's all good." He's like, "No, I'm getting you in a heat." He goes, "Okay, you're in 45 to 49 elite heat with Jason Grubb and all the other guys. Let's see if you can take them down."
Is there a video of that somewhere?
Yeah, it's on my YouTube, the whole thing. Will Plummer filmed it.
Wow.
Not YouTube,
Wow.
Instagram. Sorry.
We'll be back in a second, Guy. Hold on. Let me see this. Hey, was that unsettling?
Well, I'm Good at the
Is this it?
crossovers. It's the one on the top right. That's a live stream of a different event.
This is crazy.
Going to check in.
Oh, I can't even forward it.
Um,
Was this nerve wracking?
no, not really, because it was 1,000-meter ski for time. Every minute you had to do 20 crossover single unders. I'm pretty good at those, and you just rip on the ski rig, and it's gonna be like 5-6 minutes, and you're done.
And how old are you? You're 35, 34, 32?
I'm 36, so they were all at least 9, up to potentially 14 years older than me.
And did any of them complain like, "Hey, this is bullshit"?
No, they were super nice. As you see there, what did I say? Thank you, gents. Like, they were very kind, and they thought it was cool.
Wow. Oh,
There was
there's
Tommy right
Tommy.
there.
Yeah.
So I ended up taking 5th, and Jason got 2nd in that one, and he beat me by 10 seconds.
Wow, crazy. Is this the first time you've ever done anything like this?
Yeah, probably. Those guys are good, man. They're way, way, way stronger than me. That, like I said, that's the one test that I could kind of have a chance to do.
I can't believe how much younger Tommy looks than this guy in the yellow. The guy in the yellow, look how young Tommy looks. Just ethnic skin. Jeez, look at that guy. That guy looks like he's from a Clint Eastwood movie. Who is that? Do you know his name?
I think I did talk to him this weekend. I can't remember all their names. There were so many. There were 40 divisions there.
Dude, what a crazy journey you're on. I had some guy there. I had some guy from that event come on the show, like last minute, just like at 6 a.m. We were texting.
Do you don't know who it was?
Jamie, because I remember I thought I was gonna be a woman, and a dude popped on, and I'm like, dude, you're Jamie? He said, yep. I think Jamie,
Wait, was it
Jamie, Tammy?
Jamie Latimer?
No, maybe not.
It was a male or female?
It was a male, and it was an event organizer, and he had a girl's name, or androgynous name, or I don't know what the word is, non-binary name, whatever. His name could be for a boy or a vagina or penis, either. I don't know what words to use anymore.
Nobody does. It's awful.
Who are the event organizers?
Jessica Ortiz, Ron Ortiz's wife, took a lot of the lead this year. And
okay, not her.
And yeah, Bobby.
This dude was 41, had 2 kids, and didn't look like he was 41. Jamie Free. Thank you, Jamie.
Oh.
Jamie Latimer says Jamie Free. Yeah, there we go. Look at all these old people know. Judy knows. Judy. Tomorrow's a big day for Judy.
Okay. Well, congratulations for the big
day for Judy tomorrow. Okay. So, let's put a, what do they say in the business? Let's put a, let's wrap up the gi thing. How bad of a mistake is that then? Ant Haynes is there. He does better than Artur Semenov. He's the last minute call.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily a mistake. I do think that it's something that's worth asking. And I kind of say that, with, keeping in mind some of the other things that I've said just throughout the year about the progression of the season, is that I think that there could stand to be a little bit more thought about what is. We understand that at the community level what the Open is, but it's also a qualifying stage to the second part of the season, and the quarters is a qualifying to the semis to the games. And I didn't see some of the natural progression or linear programming that would make sense if that's what those things are, also in addition to whatever the Open exists for.
I wonder if when they I was gonna say, I wonder if when they program it, they know it'll be a hiccup for Guy, but I doubt it. I wonder if he knew.
I've spoken to programmers and people who think about this quite a lot, and some people say, like, if I were doing that, I would program the games first, or at least a significant degree, and I would work backwards from there. So I would know that, hey, by the time that the games comes around, I want to make sure that the best athletes in the world next year are being tested. And based on what happened this year, I think we need to increase the weights here, back off on the weights here. We need to increase the difficulty of the handstand, or we want to go backwards to a less difficult version of it, and have some of those pieces in mind. When when I programmed competitions at the gym I was coaching in Chicago, I usually would write the programming for the next competition the week after the competition just happened. And then over the course of the next 6 months or 12 months, within the programming that I was doing with the owner of the gym, we would start targeting some areas that we thought the athletes needed or didn't need based on what was exposed in the program. So, in theory, they could do that too. But and I've never been involved in or heard anything intimately about how the programming works. But well, that's not entirely true. It sounds to me like from what I have heard that they program for the open and then the quarters and then the semis and then the games. And so I'm kind of throwing the thought out there that what if you started with the games and worked backwards, and then that progression would probably make a lot more sense.
To gi or not to gi. The thing is when there
is
is
that a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu thing?
No, I just saw Bernie, to gi or not to gi. I think it's Shakespeare. Brian, I'm waiting for you in my towel. Jeez Louise. How am I supposed to concentrate here? Yes, Judy. Yes. Tomorrow. Tomorrow's big day. The thing is, the Ant Haynes and Semenoff thing, because they're not big names, maybe they wouldn't get attention. But it is a bummer for the fans. Gi is extremely popular, hugely successful YouTube station. It just sucks because like those TV shows. I don't know if they still do this anymore, but in the 80s and 90s, there'd be a TV show and there'd be like a character, and then that character wouldn't be able to sign the contract, so they'd swap the character out, and then there'd be like a new dad on the show. You know what I mean? Like you're watching Leave It to Beaver, and then just the dad's different. And you're
you
like,
want to know what would be great?
Yeah, what?
If Guy showed up in an off-season competition.
Yeah.
He got invited to one.
Which one?
He lost the invite, and so he lost the spot.
He got invited to Rogue?
Nope.
Where? Crash Crucible?
Nope.
Wadapalooza?
International.
Oh, Madrid.
Bigger.
Dubai. What do you mean he lost the invite? I
don't know.
When is Dubai? Is it still coming up?
Yeah, December. I'll be there doing the commentary again. It says this December 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, something like that.
But he sounded, Patrick says he talked about it, Sevan. Yeah, but he didn't say that he wasn't going. I thought he made it sound like he might be going. He's not going?
Nope. At least not that I've seen.
Patrick. What did he say on the podcast? Tell me what he said on the podcast. There's something stuck in the carpet down here.
Is that a new shirt?
No, it's old.
Oh. You see the guy wearing the CEO shirt today? He made the podium. He got third.
No shit. Who is that?
He was in the one of the men's RX division. There was Elite and RX.
Oh, yeah. He said he was having visa issues. I remember there was a whole talk on visa. Didn't he say God was going to fix that for him?
Yeah, the visa things are real. That is a real thing.
He needed his green card. Yeah, he had a visa. Did he throw it away on accident? No, they wouldn't. You can't send shit by mail from fucking Dubai to Brazil. The world's not that advanced. He has his visa but needed his green card. Hey, you think if he showed up in Dubai, they're not going to, at the Dubai, whatever they call it, thing, Fitness Championship, they wouldn't let him compete? Of course they'd let him compete.
They got 30 spots. They sent out 30 invites. They got 30 people who said yes.
They can fix that. They can wiggle him in. Prince shit. Okay, where are we? So
I would love to see him there. I mean, I still think he's one of the best 20, 30 guys in the world. I want to see him compete.
You went to Mayhem?
Yeah, as part of Power Monkey Camp.
And did you see Rich?
Rich was out hunting elk at that time.
Is this at Mayhem right here?
No, that's at the Flip Fest in Crossville, Tennessee, where the rest of Power Monkey Camp happens.
Is that Durante's joint? Is that like he has a Power Monkey facility?
No. They just use this place. It's pretty well equipped for what they want to do there.
Is it a CrossFit gym?
No, it's actually it's like a place for you can host like camps and retreats there. There's a bunch of different cabins. There's some big gyms. It's a gymnastics like it's a big gymnastics facility. There's some ninja climbing stuff over there. There's a ropes course. There's a lake. It's pretty versatile.
I don't mean to be a dick, but they could get a cease and desist for that.
For what?
That XFit.
What are you talking about?
You just can't do that. I don't care. I mean, I'm glad they did it, but maybe
That,
someone.
that's a company. I don't know.
I know, but I mean, it's. Do you think that this company was around before or after CrossFit?
I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I'm not harshing their gig. I'm just saying. Geez, look at this guy's hand
Dude,
on
there's
this
a
dude's.
guy. What did you
Look
think
at
about the cease and desist they sent to the CrossFit, the daily CrossFit tip guy in Australia?
Because it's called CrossFit.
Yeah, my Instagram is Brian Friend CrossFit. Am I gonna get a cease and desist for that?
Yeah, if you get big enough.
I mean, he's
Did you
promoting.
see the way he pushed on his head right there?
Isaiah's a good
Wow.
dude.
What did he say about your endurance?
Well, nothing, but I got all the data back, and I'm very grateful to have a relationship with Chris Hinshaw, and he could tell me what the numbers actually meant.
Yeah, what is he going to tell you? Good shit? Are you fit?
Yes and no. My VO2 max was in the superior range, but my lactate and aerobic thresholds are not.
What does that mean? So your recoveries, you can run a long distance, but you can't do it twice. Your recovery's ass.
I have a very high potential for that kind of thing, but I've and actually intentionally have not been training long aerobic pieces for the last couple of years in an effort to gain weight and get stronger. And I had an intention of changing that around the same time that everything changed in my life this year. I was going to get back into a little bit more long distance running, rowing this summer, but I've been traveling so much that training's been what it can be, and I'm not unhappy about it. But I wasn't surprised with the results. If anything, it kind of affirmed what I had suspected.
That's something you can fix.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or if not fix, increase, make better. But you can't make your VO2 max better, can you? Can you make that
Yep,
better?
yep, yeah, definitely could. I talked with Chris Hinshaw, and he basically said, more or less, if you do these things for 12 months, all of those things will improve, and your VO2 max can go up by a substantial amount. Mine personally, maybe not everyone's.
Is it too personal to ask what your VO2 is?
It's funny. Like Chris doesn't recommend people sharing that, but no, I don't mind. It was a 50.5. For my age range 49.5 and above is considered quote unquote superior.
VO2 max, good. Excellent for 30 to 39 is 42.5. Oh, but you want a low number.
No, high.
Oh. You do want a high number? Oh, okay. Oh, damn, you do have a good VO2 blah blah blah.
Yeah, but I think it could be much better. I mean, there's definitely a certain genetic component to it. My parents were both like long distance athletes. My mom was a swimmer, my dad was a runner. And I've always been good at that stuff.
Was the test hard?
I actually enjoyed it. I mean, it gets hard at the end, but I liked it. I felt like I was limited just as much by the machine and just not being super familiar at high speeds on that machine as I was by anything else. But what the test is measuring is something that's happening internal. So even though I felt like I could have maintained the pace that I was running at in the last interval for longer, my body was no longer doing what it needed to do. So the VO2 is basically maxed out.
Hey, this is the dude, the Zachary Kadatz.
Yeah, so he changed it to daily training tip, which is fine. I mean, he's still going to get the message across. For me, it's a loss for CrossFit because every single day he's putting out a daily CrossFit tip, but they obviously don't like that.
What should I look up? Daily
training tip, as it says there in the left in his image.
And it pops up right away. And I wonder what they would have done to him. I wonder what they would have done to him if he didn't pull it down. What do? They contact Instagram and...
You should have him on. He's an interesting guy. CrossFit level 3.
You know him?
Yeah, he's actually invited me to provide some tips on there before. I didn't take him up on it, but I don't know why I didn't.
Has his shit gotten bitter towards CrossFit since they've ass pounded him?
No, because he still believes in everything that it's about. So he's just going to continue pushing forward. Look, he's almost up to 50,000 followers, and all of those followers were seeing CrossFit every single day pop up on their feed, and now they're not.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And hey, and you know what else? These are probably real followers. Like these are like you don't follow this to like stare at this dude's ass. Like this is like legit shit. I want to hear his voice. Does he talk like a foreigner? Is he English?
It's Australian.
Oh. I think I've seen
It's not a good choice of video. He talks in most of them.
Okay. I think when I hear him talk, I'm gonna know who it is. Son of a bitch.
Boom, 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 boom.
Cadats. That's his name? Cadats? Just criming you, dude. Talk. Oh shit. That's him, and then that's him. Juice. Wow.
He's pretty fit.
Yeah, he even had big arms as a beer drinker. Did you see that?
You recognize his voice, yeah?
No, this dude doesn't talk. Oh, look, this one says, let's talk. Okay, fine.
Let's talk training gear. I've got a few of the things that I use most often down in front of me. We're going to talk about the stuff that you need for your training. The answer to that question really quick is realistically none of it. We could train barefoot and completely
I like
naked.
Him. That's a good response, right? What do you need? None of it.
Train barefoot and fully naked. He's basically living in your backyard.
Yeah, fucking love this dude. Yeah, I follow him. I'll tell
48,200.
I'll ask Sousa to have him on, see if we can get him on. That'd be cool. Cadets. Hey, Zachary, sorry, dude, that you got whatever. I guess it's their loss. Do you get to say that to them? Yeah, that is their loss. Oh, they were cool about it, though they gave me no option. We can have you kicked off of Instagram, or you can take the word CrossFit out. Here's the thing. Here's what they'll say if I ask him, if I go over there, if I call Marshall and I'm like, hey, Marshall, what the fuck? Why are you being a douche? He's going to be like, well, it sets precedence. We don't really want to take it away. You know what I mean? They're going to say it sets precedence. Once we know. And then if they do what's that called? A discovery on us, and they look at our emails and they saw that we knew 3 years ago and we didn't do anything, then that just makes it more difficult to protect the trademark. God, I should be the fucking CEO. Sorry. So we could co-CEO. Sorry, Don. Be the CEO.
You gonna make a new shirt? Co-CEO?
Maybe.
CEO?
I've come to terms with Don. I'm going to. I just sent Don a text today asking if he'll come back on the show. We'll see what happens. This. Okay. I'm tripping on Mayhem. What's going on over here? So this is what I think is going on at Mayhem. I think Rich is about to go through. I think something's happening. I think that he wants to go more into the hunting space. And then look at this. The Heart of Mayhem. Have you seen this thing?
Nope. Honestly, it's been so difficult for me to consume anything on this trip.
They're making a movie. The Heart of Mayhem is not your typical CrossFit documentary. We all love to watch our favorite elite athletes showing off their superhero capabilities. This is going to be like some dude who's like,
oh, dude, I was supposed to talk to them about this when I was there. They sent me a DM about this actually, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be there on Wednesday. And then I said, can we talk when I'm there? And then I messaged them. I was like, I'm here. Who should I talk to? And I didn't get a chance to talk to anyone.
Yeah, this is going to be like his wife died, or he was addicted to heroin, or this is like they're shifting gears here. I don't remember. I mean, I know that they do the
they're shifting gears, or they're just like continuing to push out into different realms.
Okay. Well, let's.
I don't know.
Let's see. I know. I'm so curious because I'm seeing hunt. Look at deep sea fishing. Starting. This guy's got some bow and arrow shit. He's got a bow and arrow guy on the podcast. He's Bill
Grunler's been shooting bow and arrows in his Metcons.
Like his Metcon shoes. Grundler wears Metcon
No,
shoes.
in the middle of his workouts, he'll do
Oh.
he'll do like 5 rounds for time, 3 power cleans at 255, 6-bar muscle up, shoot 9 arrows, repeat.
Where did you see that? You saw that on his
It's all
Instagram?
over his Instagram. Yeah, he's loving like the focus and discipline and trying to steady himself under a heart rate, and he looks like a freaking savage doing it.
Let me see this because when you said Metcon shoes, I got a little concerned because I had no
Metcon,
respect for those
workout.
skinny ass shoes. Okay, let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on here with Grundler.
You know, I like to be very particular with words. The Metcon is the metabolic conditioning component of your workout. The workout of the day would be the totality of everything that you're doing, I think.
He's lean. I didn't realize he was still so lean. Making the shots count. I have to get the 15 shots at 20 yards within 3 minutes and be able to retrieve them and get back into the next round. Wow. And look at that bow. That's like a real bow. That like something like Robin Hood would use. That's not like one of those fancy ones that the hunter dudes are using.
He's got a couple of daughters, so he's just letting any of the guys know, hey, don't
fuck
come
around
here.
Yeah, fuck around and find out. Okay, so you didn't notice any like anything weird at Mayhem? Like all of a sudden it's turned into CrossFit.
Man, I haven't seen Bill in a while. I'd like to see him. No, a lot of the same people that I know were there. I mean, it was different purpose for being there than the last time I was there, but seemed like they were just carrying on with. I mean, they have hundreds and hundreds of members there. Like they're still an integral part of what they're doing, even if they are pushing into some of these other interests.
All right.
I was just with Dylan too. He was here at Masters Fitness Collective.
He was? What was he doing there?
Championship, excuse me. He was emceeing.
He does that
last year as well. Yeah.
Oh shit!
He actually goes to quite a few events to MC.
How does he have time to do that?
He likes it.
Okay, look, I'm only had you on for one reason. Done pussyfooting around. Johnny, I thought that was Sevan with the dyed beard. Thank you. My body's such a fucking mess compared to that. Jeez Louise.
No, but you're you're very good at throwing.
Thank you.
Incredible accuracy from 23 steps with no warm up.
Thank you. I should have played professional baseball. I honestly look like a fucking muffin. I like that word muffin top. That is exactly what I look like. And I'm so close. I'm like one meal away from having like legit tits that like I could start OnlyFans. But
what happened? I thought you were not doing.
I'm all sorts. I'm trying. I'm trying.
You spend too much time in that chair?
Yeah. No. I'm out of this chair by 9 a.m.
I'm back there at 9 p.m.
Thank you, Bernie. How dare Brian? 23 paces, Brian.
I love that picture.
Thank you, Bernie. Okay, here we go. I'll start broad. If you start fucking avoiding answering the question, I have to pin you down.
Are we going back to disc golf?
And I'm not talking about the way you pinned Audrey down. How do you feel about Tia Toomey showing up to Rogue? Can I pull up a list? Is there a place we can pull up the list and see the Rogue competitors?
Barbell Spins Instagram is the best place for that.
Okay.
And it would be great to pull it up from there.
Okay.
I have several feelings about that. I will just say this in general. When I think we've probably talked about this at some point in the past, what women have proven themselves to be capable of doing coming back from pregnancy is ridiculously impressive and insane to me. There's a woman that just had twins 9 months ago. I talked to her today. She's competing at Crash Crucible in 2 weeks.
She had twins 9 months ago?
Yeah. She's competing at Crash Crucible in 2 weeks. She's a master's athlete. Her husband was competing here this week, which is pretty cool. Also, he usually supports her. She was supporting him. So my first thought is more just about like safety.
By the way, this is and Tia is the 20th, right? Down here?
Yeah, like what? Like I don't actually know. And I've always wondered this from people in the gym that are coming back from pregnancy, all the way up to Annie and Cara and these other women that are competing after pregnancy. Like I don't know really, and we might not know what is actually like a safe time frame for women to reintegrate into training and at what degree, level, weights, dynamic movements, whatever. And the answer is probably not uniform for everyone, right? Some people have some of that. What's it called when you have the separation of the stomach?
Diastasis.
Yeah, some people have some people lose kind of the pelvic floor a little bit, and then it takes a long time to get back certain things. Assuming that all of those things are fine for her, then I think there's no problem with her accepting the invite at all. This is a Rogue Invitational. They can invite whoever the hell they want, so I don't have any issue with it.
But okay, and what do you think? What do you think? What do you think Laura's thinking about Tia being there?
Probably not too much.
Oh, come on. She's thinking something.
I think
she's like,
she'll say. I mean, if I'm Laura, I'm thinking, well, I'm the defending champion, and I think Laura's the fittest she's ever been right now, and Tia's probably, I wouldn't say the least fit, but like the most vulnerable that she's been ever since she first won in 2017. And this might be the best chance that Laura has ever had to beat her.
If Laura wins Rogue, we will see her, the manifestation of her excitement. Do you know what I mean? Like, if she wins Rogue, we're going to see it and be like, oh, this really was a big deal to her. I'm telling you, dude, this is crazy pressure on her. I don't care what she says.
Pressure on Laura?
Yeah.
Do you think there's any pressure on Tia?
I don't know. She could spit. She's been gone a year. Who knows how much she worked on herself and how she's spinning things, right? I mean, she can really come in with like, hey, I just want to see what I have to work on for the games. That's the way Shane's making it sound in some interviews he's done. Hey, this is just to see what we need to work on.
Have you ever talked to Tia?
No, not really. Like 25 conversations.
That's not how she operates.
25 conversations with a total of 17 words between them all.
No, that's not how she's wired. She's not wired to. She's like, I've told you that story about the first time I met Haley Adams.
I believe you. Yes, I believe it. Okay.
Tia is showing up there with one objective and one mission in mind, and that's
okay. Let's come back to her pressure then. I'm totally want to talk about the pressure she's feeling, but I think like when you see a fight and a boxing match or UFC match, and a fighter wins who you didn't know if they were going to win or not, and they don't know if they're going to win or not, and then they win and they start crying like they can't even believe it. They showed up.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
You know the movie Warrior?
That's the UFC movie. I didn't see it. I tried to watch it a few times. I haven't seen it.
You couldn't get through it or what?
No, I couldn't get through it. Is it good?
It's got to be one of my top 10 favorite movies. I used to watch it before college soccer games to like pump me up. I would just watch the last hour, but I watched it on the plane rides I took on whatever day that was to get over here, and man, I still love it. It's really good. Anyway,
like this is gonna mean a lot to Laura. Like this is gonna mean if she beats Tia, this will mean as much to her as the CrossFit Games. More, I think.
Pull up that list. Any single person on that list, if they win this, it's gonna mean the world to them. I mean, this is a massive competition, and it's a huge thing to win. And for anyone on there that wins, that's not Tia, they can add their list to the name of 2 people that have beaten her at a competition this big in the history of Tia's career.
I agree, but there is. Oh man, I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud. Everyone knows that the circumstances that led up to the games this year opened the door for a new winner. Meaning
100%.
Tia had a baby. If Tia wouldn't have caught the baby batter from Shane, she would have gone to the games this year and won. I don't want to take anything away from Laura, but I did. And
no, you didn't.
Okay.
Because there's nothing. That's all of those things are out of her control.
So Laura, if she can beat Tia here, she gets a double victory. It really is like.
The mental aspect of this sport is tough. Like she can take that any way she wants. She can say, let's say she wins, and let's say Tia finishes second. She's like, I finally did it. I finally beat her. Or she could be like, yeah, but she had a baby 5 months ago. Like, fuck, what's going to happen at the games next year. She could still have that mentality.
There
What
will
happens if
be
Tia-
still a little bit of that. There will be a little bit of that, but if she
What happens if
loses,
Tia
dude,
finishes 5th?
yeah.
Then does it dampen that? Well, I beat her with sort of 4 other girls.
No. But if Tia, here's the thing, the really good distinction point you brought up. If Tia beats her, though, you're right. If Tia beats her, it's like, fuck. Tia won even. She just had a fucking baby. Fuck. Who's going to beat this girl? Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll come back to that.
Do you want the preview of my predictions for Rogue?
I would
Or
love
do you
it.
want to wait until the week before?
Just give me a little something. Who do you have Tia at number 1?
No.
Wow. Okay, hold that thought. Let's keep. I want to ask you. While we're here, on the Tia Laura thing, I want you to talk to me about what we're seeing here. God, look how pretty she looks here. We're not supposed to look at this. We'll look at how pretty she is later. Tell me about this. She makes this post. It says, "Don't let the fear of what could happen make nothing happen." Caduces her.
Do you remember what that word means?
No, I've looked it up like 5 times, and every time, like, oh, okay, like
Can
don't
Andrew
be
tell you
crazy.
what it means in the backwards reverse?
Something. Don't be crazies.
I thought it meant I am crazy.
Oh, I am crazy. Okay. What are you seeing here? Are you like, hey, don't do this? Isn't? Are you like, oh fuck, she's cracked the code. Her handstands are great. Or you're like, no, Laura, this isn't the one you have problems with, or somewhere in between.
Someone's pulling her feet up.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Well, let me see the full shot.
I can't.
I know.
Let's assume that she's doing it.
When's the last time that she's posted something like this?
Jacqueline Robinson, $20, 20 Canadians. Thank you. Nice bicep. Good
That's
tan.
what I'd be curious if she's ever posted something like that before, or when.
Oh, okay. Here, look. Okay, here's one a week ago. Wait, let me see this. This is a week ago on those ballistic. What are those called? Ballistic boxes. You're surprising that. This is 4 days ago. Oh shit, dude. Did you know that? Did you set me up for that? Look at that shit. What you just figured out. This is 4 days ago, dude. This is 7 days ago, and you have to assume that this isn't old content, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
And then she says, when people can't do something themselves, they want to tell you they can't do it either. Caduces.
Remember, I mean, look, that's. I know people have been talking about it, but in my opinion, at the absolute worst, she's the fourth best woman who's ever done this sport.
At the absolute worst.
Yeah. And at the
so if
best,
someone told you she was the third, okay. So you wouldn't fight with them if someone's like, dude,
yeah,
she's
I would say
best. Okay.
Tia is obviously the best to ever do it. And by the way, I think that you need to have, when I rank athletes all time, I say that you have to have a minimum of 3 CrossFit Games appearance. So Mal O'Brien's not even in the conversation yet. But obviously there's Annie, Katrin, and Laura. Those are the next 3 for me in some order. So she's one of the 4 best to ever do it. And of those 4 women, she has one thing that she's much, much, much worse at than any of the other 3 are at any other thing. And despite that, she's still managed to put together the resume that she has. I wrote an article after the games this year that says, look at what she's done. Take the fact that she competed in her best against Tia in Tia's best years out of the equation. On paper, her skill set and resume is so impressive. And if she's getting better at that thing now, which is not out of the realm of possibility.
I think she's getting better. I think she's getting better.
To late 20s, which is actually the prime of a female's career that we've seen so far over the course of the trajectory of the sport. We haven't seen the best version of Laura Horvath yet, and she's already one of the best who's ever done it. It happens in sports. Every sport it happens, where the best person and the second best person of all time end up competing at the same time. And there can only be one that's the best.
So going back to the question, all good stuff from Mr. Brian Friend from Be Friendly Fitness. These 2 shots here, this one here 4 days ago, this one here 7 days ago, where she's upside down. What do you see here? in terms of?
I'll tell you just a little quick story. I might have told you this story before. Did I tell you about how tight my hamstrings used to be?
No, tell me. Audrey told me.
Brutal. They did like a sit and reach test in middle school, high school, and I couldn't even reach the block where the number started counting up from. It was insane. And my doctor told me that it's just genetic and I was never going to get any better at that. And I was kind of like, well, we'll see about that. So I started doing this same routine every single day, and I made no progress for 8 months. And then in one day, like 4 inches better on my reach test.
Wow.
After no progress for 8 consecutive months.
Wow.
And this is it's a parallel. It's just called a plateau in training. And plateaus in training your body to adapt and overcome certain limitations that could be impacted by, biological things that are just inherent to your body individually, can last for a variety of different time periods. She's been doing this for a long time, but it doesn't mean that she can't ever make a breakthrough. And whether it's diet or sleep or happiness in her life or just a long time of trying to improve the same thing, it seems like maybe something has changed in that regard. Is she going to be winning those workouts? No. But if she goes from finishing in the bottom quarter of the field in those workouts to the middle of the field in those workouts, she's giving away, depending on the scoring system, dramatically less points, and that's going to make it a lot harder for anyone else to compete with her.
Are you saying that when you see these videos, you're like, oh shit, Laura Horvat's had a breakthrough. She's the queen of handstand push-ups. She just put
No, not the queen of handstand push-ups, but she might have had a breakthrough. We still, you still want to see it in competition. I think that, it's kind of like this. This year at the CrossFit Games, there were no strict deficit handstand push-ups. The handstand push-ups they had were freestanding, and you could do them kind of whatever way you wanted. And for some athletes, they weren't even the limiting factor in that workout. Last year at the games, they had the hardest version of that we've ever seen. She took last or second to last on that test. So you could say, like, yeah, well, she won the games this year, but not only was Tia not there, not only was Mel not there, but also her nemesis in terms of a movement wasn't there. None of which are her fault, by the way. In the same way that you could say, well, Yona Koski on average finishes 2 spots higher at the games every time there's a swim. He finished 6th place at the games this year, tying his career best ever. If there was a swim, he might have been 4th. Jason Watkins showed him that on the performance-based scoring, he would have finished 3rd. So it's like,
what did you call him? What did you call him? Jason Watkins?
Yeah.
What the fuck's that dude's name?
Jason Tyler Watkins. Sorry, Tyler.
Oh, no one's supposed to know. Wow. Okay. Listen, Patrick Clark says this. Don't worry, guys. I'm not letting Brian off the hook. I'm going to ask again. Don't worry. Patrick Clark brings up a great point here. There was talk recently. I can't remember who it was, but it was a UFC championship that happened recently. And it was thank you, Patrick. It was Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman, and Kamaru Usman was like the best pound per pound fighter or best fighter, 171 pounds that ever lived, right? Maybe pound for pound the best fighter alive in his day. And Leon Edwards beat him, who was not supposed to beat him, dude. Was not supposed to beat him. And so then they rematched, and Leon beat him again. And the commentator started saying that once you get the championship belt on you, you're 30% better.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me think of Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. Like, I would watch Roger Federer play Rafael Nadal, and I'm like, I know, like in my mind, I was like, I know Federer's better than him. But he's just lost to this guy so many times that it's just like weighing on him. Like when the moment was critical, like he kept losing in the most important point of the match to Nadal.
That's how I feel when I play my 8-year-old. I'm like, there's no fucking way he's better than me. And yet, for some reason, every game he ends up winning. It's nuts. I'm like, there's no way.
And it's been what I mean, I know I've said this to you before, but the more and more that I get to know the athletes and I guess actually spend time with them in and out of competition, the mental side of this sport is just, it's insanely critical. And I think that's true for most sports.
Have you seen any of have you ever seen Haley Adams be interviewed?
Yeah.
It's so different now. Since she's back, she's so different. Yeah, it's so different.
What do you mean she's back?
Well, what do you mean she's back? What do you mean she's back?
Back doing what?
Oh, she's gonna. I assume she's coming back to CrossFit. Did you see her when you were at Mayhem?
Yes, I gave her a hug. I said, Great to see you.
You
Happy
said great
for
to
you.
see you back. You said great to see you back.
No, she's not back. She hasn't done any competitions yet.
Okay. Since her re-emerging,
I
how's
will
that?
put her on the greatest top 200 in the world, though.
How about re-emerging? Would you say she's re-emerged? Resurfaced, re-emerged
From where?
from her soul-searching venture?
I think she's still on it.
Well, she we're all on it, but she took a where it became a where she found it, where she got on the path. She's reemerged since she got on the path. How's that? She's still on it, but she's reemerged since she got on the path.
So she was off the path.
She wasn't. God damn it, Brian.
So we're not all on the path.
No, we're not. Okay,
But the
so
path is always there.
something's happened to her. Something's happened to her.
I get it. Yeah.
There's more depth to her. She has some stories to tell. There's more for her to talk about. Either something's happened to her or she's less guarded. There's a bunch of ways to say it, but it was not like in interviewing her in the past where it's like, hey, what's your favorite workout? After you're done work out, what's your favorite way to get sugar back into your body? Ben and Jerry's or fucking blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
So
Like
it's
it's not.
more kind of
There's depth to her. There's story. She had an adventure. She's bit by a snake, and she's telling you about the trip to the hospital and back.
three
And
people this weekend asked me if we're ever going to do part 2 of our little interview.
oh yeah, I need to watch part 1 again. It's been so wild. It's been so wild. I don't know where I was going with that. You derailed me, but I want to go back to Laura. When you see these handstand push-ups, are you like, hey, something's changed? Or are you like, this is just Instagram? I don't know.
Still need to see it happen in competition.
Okay, so what we're the presupposition we're making is that we both agree that parallel deficit handstand push-ups have been a place where she's had some really bad finishes that have derailed her.
She's had bad finishes in handstand push-ups in general.
Okay,
The harder the version of it gets, the worse that it's been. Yes.
Okay, and so when you see this, are you? Does it make you salivate? When you see this, does this make you salivate a little bit? The movement, not the outfit. You're like, yeah.
Kind of like that shoe color. Yeah,
That
I like
too.
seeing this for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's the thing: is I can't remember who I was talking to about this today. I want to see every athlete at their best, and so my hope is that, with in an optimal world, every athlete who is at the CrossFit Games this year that's also competing at Rogue will be a little bit better at something, or have something to offer, a little more healthy, or whatever it is. And same thing for the ones that weren't there, that had qualified through the qualifier or got an invite for other reasons.
Look, there was that year that Matt Fraser did that sprint, right, and took like last place, right?
2016 was the year that he won. He did not do so well in 2015.
And what place did he get in 2015?
In the 30s. He had 3 straight finishes in the 30s. It was like sprint 1, sprint 2. Dan Duhaley's 2 event wins in the history of his career, and then the soccer chipper where he blew up on the rope after the pig.
Okay, so then he comes back and he has a fucking foot race with Ben Smith or something.
Yeah, and lost by like a 1/10 of a second to Roy Gamboa from a different heat.
Okay, and so he had a
boy
foot
Roy,
race.
I had to sneak in Roy Gamboa.
He had a foot race with Marston Sawyer and Ben Smith and won. And that's what I'm asking you. So like, is she in the lab? Is this the year he went back to the lab and he unfucked his shit? Are you seeing that? Or can you be like, oh my goodness,
yeah, but I think it actually
this hole is fixed and Tia Toomey is in trouble. Well, not only is she better at handstand push-ups, but the implications that she's gotten this much better at gymnastics mean that she's 2% better everywhere else. Stand back, everyone. No. Yes?
Yeah, but I mean, potentially, yes, but I don't think it's the jump to Tia Toomey is in trouble, because I don't know what was reasonable to expect from Tia, which is why I started by talking about just like, what is the female body capable of in that amount of time, and how has her body reacted to the process of going through a birth and recovering from that in the way that there has to be a certain amount of recovery from doing that. So But if Tia's feeling good and healthy and she's back to lifting, like that's what I'm curious to see. Like, is Tia going to be capable of lifting the same weights? Is she going to be capable of the same volume of GHC sit-ups and high volume toes to bar? I would assume if she's accepting to go to this competition that she feels like the answer to those questions are yes. But there's, competing is different than training, and under a high stress, high fatigue, who knows if the heat's out there, what the volume of the demand is going to be. We'll see how Tia responds to that, and it might, the reality is that it might not matter how good anyone else is if Tia's body can't perform the way that she would want it to.
Sevan, did you film Tia in Rich's basement in 2017? No, I didn't even know Rich had a basement. And Rich and our friendship was on hiatus in 2017. We were in a small hiatus. Am I
Small
using that word right?
hiatus.
Yeah, what is it? Hiatus?
For a
I
few
hardly know her.
years.
Hiatus. I don't even like anus. Hiatus. Pause or gap. Yeah, we were in a small hiatus. Yeah, a pause or gap in a sequence, series, or process. Hiatus. And thank you for the money. More of you should be spending your money here. In any world out if there's no injury, do you see a world where Tia doesn't compete in the games this year? Do you see her having any issues?
No, and I would expect, assuming no injuries or setbacks, I would expect by next year's CrossFit Games that she'll win it. It's just that Rogue it's still pretty soon after giving birth. We haven't really seen anyone compete this high level this quickly after giving birth.
You think she'll win the games next year? That's what you just said.
Assuming no setbacks or injury, yes.
Yeah. And what about the men? Since we're just flippantly just throwing shit around.
Much more difficult to project.
Okay.
We'll learn a lot. I think we'll learn a lot at Rogue.
We will. I think you're right.
Medeiros not competing at Rogue, correct?
Correct. From what I saw.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, I'll be at Rogue in particular. I'll be looking at Adler, Vellner, Roman to see how his foot's doing, Ricky to see how his shoulder's doing. I still think that Chandler's pretty interesting, especially at Rogue. And there's some other guys that I'm pretty intrigued by. I want to see how Jason Hopper rebounds from what happened to him at the games this year. But there's a lot of questions on the men's side. It's pretty cool. And Fikowski,
Oh yeah, Fikowski. I want to ask you about Roman. It was nice of you to bring him up.
I saw him at Mayhem, but I didn't have a chance to go and talk to him. I was so bummed. I saw Logan Ewing there too.
Oh, what's Logan like? I'm gonna have him on the podcast. Cool. Did you talk to him?
Yeah. I've always have good chats with him. But they were like coming in, and then they saw that the whole camp was there, and I was in a workout with someone. And I saw him, and then they went into the back, and we just got didn't get a chance to say hi. I was bummed up.
I heard that Roman is going, and I'm on his Instagram, and I don't see anything about it. I heard that Roman is going to Vietnam. No,
I thought it's South Korea.
Sorry, yeah, Korea. It's all those countries are the same to me. Nam, Korea, Philippines. Is that true? And if that's true, does that mean this year he won't be competing in the U.S.? He'll have to go back to Vietnam to do the semifinals?
But that depends on the rules that the CrossFit Games rulebook details when they're released at some point this offseason.
Hey, no one questioned. There was all this. Well, how come Katrin gets to go from Idaho to the United States? And there were all these people. And why does Bailey Martin, Bailey Bale, Bailey Rail, Bailey get to go to the West? And all these people, you know what I mean? Like all these jackasses who have CrossFit shows are all like me. We're like, doing all this shit.
I mean, you know my opinion about this too.
But hold on, I forget it. But no, because it's been so long since you've been on. But no one fucked with Roman. Oh, the poor Russian. Leave the Russian alone. No one dared be like, hey, it's bullshit.
I thought Adler was fucking with Russian. Roman.
no one was fucking with Roman, being like, hey, send this jackass back to Nam to compete. So what about now? It is a little
saying Vietnam.
It's just funner to say than Korea.
Okay. You could have said like North Korea.
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird to give him a pass again if he goes there in the off season, right? Or no, since he's been here a year, that's all you need to be here is a year. It's his home.
Again, it depends on what rules they choose to put into the rule book this year, and then subsequently it depends on. I don't know exactly what his visa status or residency status or whatever it is. He went to I believe he went to Dubai right after the games to get that taken care of, and now he has the opportunity to stay here for longer. It might also have some kind of jurisdiction about entry and re-entry that's a lot different than what it was. I don't know, but he was able to go to Asia and come back the previous season. It was just a risk and a pain in the ass.
I feel like I answered my own question too in there, because if they do stick by the same rules, he'll be able to stay in the United States because all you had to be here was like a year to show that you're home. And I think maybe he even bought a house here or something.
It was multiple years. But yeah, I mean, my opinion hasn't changed on this matter. I think that if you have a passport in a country that's in a competitive region, you should absolutely have the opportunity to compete there. And that if you can prove that you're living in a different competitive region and have been for whatever the required period of time is, you should have an opportunity to compete there. And by those rules, Ellie Turner would have the choice to compete in Oceania, which she has probably an easier chance to make it than she does in North America West. Or she could choose to compete in North America West because she doesn't want to spend however much money and do that travel and make that trip in the middle of the season. Katrin would have the same choice between Europe, and Roman would have the same choice between Asia. And wherever they compete, they'll just have to be good enough to make it. But it makes sense to me that you should be able to compete where you're from, and you should be able to compete where you live if you want to.
Do you think Justin's going to cut his mullet at some point
I hope he does.
In his CrossFit career? You think he'll finish his career with a mullet, or he'll get rid of it before?
I think he'll get rid of it at some point before he retires, and I think it'd be nice if he did. I think he'd probably look pretty good.
Rambler Sevi, if you collect camera gear, do you also collect pocket knives? I don't collect anything. I am not a collector.
What about WOD Zombie trading cards or mint trading cards?
No. This is purely out of the. This is like just because I'm trying to support him. I would know, like, this beautiful James Sprague.
He's selling like the last WOD Zombie packs ever.
What do you mean? What's that mean?
Because now they're all going to be mint trading cards.
Oh,
so WOD Zombie ones are going to be no more. So he's selling like some 7-card packs or something. The last ones.
No, I didn't know that. He should stick with the WOD Zombie name. Mints is just so like every other sport. How do you come up with that? Call me WOD Zombie. What are you doing?
It was probably Jason Watkins' idea.
Oh, it's fucking stupid. Stick with something weird, dude. Score. Like these ding dongs. Score. Yeah,
this
like duh. Agent? Yeah. You know, one of the listeners, Brandon Waddell, sent this to me.
It is Bajent.
Yeah, Tyson. Huh. Chicago Bears, backup quarterback for Chicago Bears.
For now.
Frequent guest of the show. Oh shit, Audrey. I'm gonna have a limited edition Brian Friend card.
That's a little concerning.
I came up with it. Well, there you go. Oh yeah, the Ben Smith limited edition has WZ on it. WOD Zombie. Hey, you know what I think? I think that there's more. I think that the demand. There's athletes want cards faster, more than he has them. Do you know what I mean? Like I talked to Guy about it, and like Guy wanted a card.
There's biographies written for athletes that we haven't released cards for yet. Yeah.
I think there could be 50 of these.
But there's a process that has to go through to get them from.
And he probably only sells like 3 of them, right? So it's probably just like a passion. He has to give away 12 to jackasses like me, and then he sells 3.
Mm-hmm. But you can't afford them, so
So he sends them to me.
Yeah.
So we have a relationship, me and WOD Zombie.
Doesn't he just walk him over to your door, hand him to you?
Nick, throw one in. Don't come in, Nick. Your feet are dirty. You got dog poop in here last time. Just throw it in from the door.
That's because you didn't clean up the dog poop in your driveway, Sevan.
Yeah. Patrick Clark, it's dealing with managers and agents and getting NIL rights. I think I had a word for managers and agents. Klingons. like butt hairs, or like, what was my word for managing agents? I had a word for them that was pejorative, derogatory. We're doing. Are we doing Crash Crucible together, me and you? What's the plan here? By the way, I saw his internet connection today. Holy cow, it is
Right.
robust.
Yeah, I'm really pumped for that. And yes, I think we are doing it together, and I'm excited for that too.
So basically, you'll be there on the ground,
Mhm.
and I'll be doing it from here, and we'll have all the camera angles, and we'll just be going crazy.
Yeah, and it's going to be like for athletes, it's going to be great. For fans of athletes, it's going to be great because it's small heats, and if the internet is as good as you say it is, we'll be able to really spotlight and highlight what's happening on the floor, who these people are, what they're doing well at. It's going to be cool.
I'm going to run a speed test right now on my computer.
And I'm going to have all the athlete information for you so you can sound like you know what you're talking about.
Oh, good. We should have some people. I should have some people on ahead of time. Okay, so I'm 10 up right. I'm 400 down and 10 up, 10 megabits per second up. I saw a speed test today, and I'm hardwired. I saw a Wi-Fi speed test. It crashed today, and it's 40 up. And look how my picture's crisp, right?
I know. I can see the wrinkles on your forehead.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
I can see the scar on your right cheek.
Yeah.
From where is that where you smashed yourself in the face with a tennis racket after Avi beat you?
No, I wish it was a good story like that. I was a little kid and I jumped into the corner of a coffee table. I should ask my mom if that story's true. I've been telling it forever.
Yeah, every kid did that.
Yeah, okay. I'm pumped. I'm nervous too. I spoke to JR today. I go, dude, I am stressed out and nervous about this. He goes, yeah, me too.
Why?
Just because I want it to be good. I want it to be
It'll be good.
I want it to be like the Zelos games, but you actually can see shit. It's not like you're watching Atari 2600 like graphics. You know what I mean? Like the blocks move around. And I think it's going to be so clean.
It is going to be. And it'll be better than Zelos games for many reasons. JR has a much bigger floor space there. The natural progression of workouts will be better. I've had a lot of more opportunity to practice these things. We're going to have more preparation in terms of the athletes. We're going to have the opportunity to have guests there. We got Souza and Hiller there running cameras, making sure that everything is good on the back end. It's going to be legit.
This is slightly off subject from the Crash Crucible, and what you were saying is legit. But did you know that there was a 63-inch Pringles can?
I think I know who they made that one for, actually.
That's incredible. Pringles has spoken though, and so they made up a batch of giant Pringles cans that are 63.4 inches long, matching the height of Pringles Japan's celebrity spokesperson, media personality Fuwa Chan. Wow. Does Italy sell 3-foot Pringles cans? No word on what different Pringle flavors. Oh wow. And they're in 3-foot cans in Italy. I've only seen one like this, like whatever we have here in the States, like a foot long or a 16-inch, whatever that thing is.
Yep. I guess. I mean, I haven't seen Pringles cans in a while. I was never a huge fan of that's a very, very salty snack.
Do you think that there's a better chip than a Pringle?
Yeah.
Like which one?
I don't know. I'm not a big chip guy, really.
But back when you were like a little kid, like you like Doritos or like what did you like?
No Doritos. We used to do like the
barbecue,
like the tacos with the Fritos. I would eat those sometimes.
Oh.
But I don't really eat chips. Like I guess if I went to like a sandwich shop and eat a bag of chips, I either get the pretzels or like just the original baked Lays or whatever they are.
Yeah, the baked Lays are good, or the barbecue chips are good, but Pringles are on a whole. They're not even really chips; they're on a whole nother level, I think, and they're very salty.
I actually haven't had one in a long time. I think I do remember liking the taste, but I couldn't eat a lot of them. Too salty.
Yeah, it kind of like hurts the roof of your mouth.
Yeah, that's never a good sign.
All right. Anything else you would like to? Any most memorable moment on your trip? I feel like I've taken over the whole show. Go ahead.
Show.
Okay. Well, thank you.
I told you had free reign.
Thank you.
You know, within the realm of CrossFit and stuff like that, and disc golf and Pringles and Um, I wanted to tell you a little story
Please.
about. I went to a gym in Norway, CrossFit Furuset. My friend Roger has built up a community there. Do want me
Can
to
you spell
that
it for
you?
me? Yeah.
Furuset.
Okay.
Oh, you can. There's something probably on my Instagram about this experience as well, but I thought you'd really like this one since you're an affiliate and community guy. And he advertised. He told me before I came there. He's like, I advertised it to my members that we're gonna do a workout and seminar with my friend from America.
Oh, wow. Oh,
That's
there
the-
it is. Wow.
It's probably, you can probably translate that. Oh no, it's just he pulled this bio. Look at that. It even says the Sevan Podcast in it. Isn't that nice of him to say that?
Wow.
It also
Yeah.
says some other stuff that's not accurate about the gym, but whatever. And he's like, listen, if I walked into the gym with Tia Claire Toomey, Matt Fraser, Laura Horvath, and Rich Froning, they wouldn't know who any of them are. This is not these type of people.
Wow.
But they're excited and they're curious because my friend from America is coming to hang out and talk to them. So he's like, do you know what workout you're going to write for them? I was like, how many people are coming? What do you want to do? He's like, teams of 3, there might be like up to 30, 40 people and maybe some kind of AMRAP. So we're all working for the same time. Fine. So I wrote a workout. He goes, do you know what you're going to talk about? And I lied to him. And I said, yeah, of course I know what I'm talking about. I had no idea what I was going to talk about because I was like, well, I don't know who these people are. I don't know what's going to happen. I've been living this for 10 years. So hopefully I can just talk about it, whatever. So we did the workout. I observed, watched it. It was great to see the camaraderie, the intensity get higher and higher as the workout time was dwindling down in the AMRAP. What are you doing?
That's totally unnecessary for your legs to get that close to the ground at that high of a speed. That is dumb. Go on. Yes, go on. So you didn't know what you're going to talk about. I'm listening.
So I watched them, and as I'm watching them work out, some thoughts are coming into my mind. And so I just started speaking to them about the first thing I talked about was like relative to the workout. I talked about the value of full hip extension and squatting below parallel, and we transitioned to like the applications that it has to life over a lifetime. And then I started telling some stories about Greg from way back when, and I started asking them some questions. Why are you guys here? Like, where did you come from? There was a hockey team, like 13 and 14-year-old boys that showed up, like 12 of these kids. There were people ranging from that age all the way up to their 60s. There were probably like 6 or 7 different nationalities represented. There were overweight people who just started CrossFit. There was a girl with autism. There was a guy who he speaks up and he starts telling me, he's like, dude, I had these like terrible health markers, and I was and my doctors were like, they weren't even really sure what to do. A buddy of mine mentioned, well, why don't you just try some exercise? I just started going to this gym, so he came to this gym. A year later, he went back to the doctor, and his health markers are all now within the normal ranges. And he's like tearing up telling this story, and a few other people told these stories like this. And this is just like one of many gyms in Norway that I just happened to have an opportunity to go and talk to these people. These are the people that took the chance to show up there. And it was just, for me, it was just like, it was probably the most impactful thing that happened to me on the entire trip, just to be there and see this thing working in a community that could care less about the CrossFit Games, could care less about the best in the world. They were just living happier, healthier lives because of having exposure to this thing that Greg started however many years ago.
Norway is 81% Norwegian. And
there's a big population of Middle Eastern people there. A lot of darker skinned people from different countries and parts of the world were there.
Less than 1% of Norway is black.
Well, there were some black people at the talk that I did.
Exactly. That's my fucking point. Of course there were. Those places are melting pots. Those gyms are melting pots, and they've always been melting pots since the fucking beginning of time. And it's awesome that the cure for the world's most vexing problem even works in Norway. That is so freaking cool. How were the chicks hot?
And there was one guy there who's actually
a yes or no question, Mr. Friend. Your Honor, the witness is being hostile.
In Norway?
Yeah, were there hot chicks in
So the funny thing about that is everywhere I go, I think there's beautiful women there. But the people who live there, when I say that about them, they're like, I don't think they're that beautiful. Because they're just accustomed to it, you know?
I went to
There's
a country
something.
once where I went to one country once where there weren't beautiful women. Just one. I'll tell you off there. It's kind of unbelievable. Everywhere I've went, I'm like, dang.
Was it the street where Ronnie Teasdale's gym used to be?
No, it's not. No. United States has hot women. Everywhere has hot women.
Beautiful women.
Dude, crazy.
But it is crazy. I mean, I was in Finland. I was talking to my friends there, and I was like, man, there's a lot of good-looking women here. And they're like, really? I don't know. But they're just like, you know, it's like when you're used to something so much, you don't appreciate it as much as when it's new.
Yeah, I guess. I think if oh, I want to show you this person. Someone said guess a country, and I thought I would.
Roger did set me up in Sweden though at that competition I did. At the briefing. He's like, is there anybody here from Sweden? Everyone, half the people raise their hand. What about Norway? Half the people raise their hand. He's like, what about Denmark? 5 people raise their hand. He's like, anywhere else in the world? I'm like, he goes, oh, my friend from America. We'll do the briefing in English.
Oh, that's cool. Armenia has
do it in English anyway.
Armenia has so many hot women. It's fucking mind-boggling. It's crazy. And I'm not just saying it because
country.
Someone thought that was a country where there's no hot women. I did not expect it at all. It is crazy. It is crazy. Just big, huge brown eyes, voluptuous women. I don't know. I was expecting them to just look. I don't know.
The same type, skin tone as Tommy, our friend Tommy.
Tommy who? Rodriguez?
No, that I competed against. Remember, you said he had a nice skin tone.
Tommy Rodriguez?
Pulled up from this weekend, yeah.
Yeah. He's not. He's Mexican.
Yeah, but nice skin tone.
Yeah, he has
nice skin tone.
Yeah, they do. They have great skin tone. But this is a little disappointing. It says world's sexiest people are Irish and Armenian. That doesn't bode well.
For Pedro, it does.
For men it's Irish. For women it's Armenian. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, that makes more sense.
That what is that? An online magazine or something?
Yeah, People magazine.
That the sexiest men in the world are from Ireland?
Yeah. Hey, you can't argue with science.
Who's the author? You just got distracted by something.
I like that. I like what you said. Who's the author? This is the kind of article that doesn't even have an AI.
Chat GPT.
Chat GPT, yeah. Oh my goodness. Look, they even say here the results may be surprising. Between the men's taste and popular celebrities such as Kim Kardashian. Oh, Rihanna in Rihanna's country, Bahan. She's not American?
That's where she's from? Wait,
I guess.
Wait,
that's
what country is she?
But BAJAN. No, I have not been drinking yet. But I'm going to. Dude, do you know who I'm having on the podcast tomorrow?
Judy Reed.
No. I will say something about Judy Reed on the podcast tomorrow. Oh my goodness, all these pictures of Rihanna with wearing a mask. Why? Tomorrow this guy David Sutcliffe's coming on. He was on a TV show called The Gilmore Girls. And he's become a psychotherapist, a core energetic therapist. Somatic. What is that? Core energetic somatic therapist.
Ask him if he's seen the movie called The Hypnotic.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I watched it on one of these. I've been on the airplane 70 hours of this trip. I figured it out.
And was it a good movie?
It got me thinking.
What was it called?
Hypnotic.
You know what sucks is that I can't even play the trailer to it. I'll get dinged. It's so stupid. So this guy.
You can pull up the picture of it and read the 2-sentence description.
Synopsis. Okay, so this guy's a somatic therapist. Somatic body-centered therapies are similar to whole life therapy in that it considers the whole person. Blah. Core energetic therapeutic method that works with the idea of human being having an energy system as well as a body. Blah blah blah. Somatic experience. Oh fuck, nothing easy. Anyway, he just did a 3-hour breakdown with Andrew Tate, where he like breaks down Andrew Tate. He sits across from him at a table. Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
They're actually in person?
Yeah, they're actually in person.
No, I don't.
Oh. Audrey, so quick. I'd let Brian hypnotize me. Brian, you got to see my studio. I have the nicest podcast studio on the west coast of the United States, in the Western Hemisphere.
I mean, you've been sending the pictures of it. Is there
Yeah,
what else?
I got even more. You got to come. You should be sitting here for a week where we just do shows together for a week.
You've never invited me there.
Yeah, well, let's do that. After what are we doing together? Crash Crucible.
You want me to come out there between Crucible and Rogue?
When? Oh my goodness, wouldn't that be crazy if we did a Rogue build? Are you going to Rogue?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't in jail with Tate though. Great question. That's cool. Yeah, let's look at the calendar. That would be tight to do it right before Rogue, but I'm totally game. Listen to this. This Sutcliffe dude probably sells supplements too. You asshole, Daniel. I am going to lump you in that camp with Danny Guerrero and David Weed. There's 3 tiers of listeners. There's 12 daily doses, just like Satan. Then there's Purgatory. That's David Weed, Dan Guerrero. And Chapman's working on getting in there too. And now, Daniel, you want from heaven put into
Straddling the line.
Oh, he's just these guys. And I had a guy come on the other day and I asked him about some supplements he sold, and everyone in the comments is like, "Oh, this is a fucking infomercial, blah, 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 blah." It's like, dude, like it's his job, like selling those. What am I supposed to not ask about it?
That's your job, is to ask.
Yeah. What if he was a lawyer? You wouldn't say that he was if he was a lawyer, you wouldn't say that he's
you change something up on the perimeter of your screen here? It looks really nice.
Travis did it, I think. The Vindicate guy who sells all the cool shirts. Asymmetric, the legend, David Weed, thanks to Sevan. Well,
we'll see Travis a couple of weeks. I'm excited. I always love seeing Travis.
Oh, dude, I don't know if you know, but Trish died.
What do you mean?
Okay, well, Trish died. That character Trish, you know, there's all these characters in here like J.R. Howell, Magnus Holmgren, Rambler, Bernie Gannon.
JR.
What?
Is that not actually JR?
I don't fucking know. I don't think anyone's anyone in here.
So the character Trish died, or do you actually know who the person is and that person passed away?
That person, Trish, died. They had an Instagram account. I know, it's weird.
Virtual Trish or the real Trish?
I think it's
Is
a
there
virtual
real
Trish. I don't know. Those are all questions
You
I'm not.
got a virtual death.
But it may be all irrelevant because I saw Trish in here this morning.
Can you pull up
No, her Instagram account is gone.
Can we pull up the funeral from Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince when Aragog dies? It's a great speech we could play for Trish.
Oh, Brian, sometimes I like you so much. Why do you have to do Harry Potter?
Hey. Come on. I'm proud of what I have studied and know about Harry Potter, actually.
Okay, that's fine.
Do you know that I started to write a book called Harry Potter and the Four Loves, which was a cross-reference between C.S. Lewis's book, The Four Loves, which identify the 4 Greek words for love in the New Testament and the ways that they play out throughout the story of Harry Potter?
No. Are you going to finish the book?
Maybe. I have another book that is actually finished that I'm looking to publish if anyone on here knows a publisher or editor that's interested in fantasy adventure.
I know an agent.
Who is that?
Patrick Clark.
But yeah, I like to write, and I have written some books, and I have others that I would like to, but I've just kind of been looking for the right outlet.
What was the book you recommended to me the other day by C.S. Lewis?
Oh, we were talking about the Screw Tape Letters.
Screw Tape Letters.
Yeah, it's a series of letters that the senior devil writes to like junior devils about infiltrating the minds of humans.
It's good.
It's Yeah, the way that I described it in our text was pretty good. It was like, yeah, if you read it with an open mind, then it can certainly challenge your perspective on how you go about living your life.
I think. Are you reading the audiobook? Are you reading the? We haven't talked about reading any books yet. Patrick Clark, this is news to me. Well, there you go. Hypnotic. Hypnotic is a 2023 American mystery action thriller directed by Robert Rodriguez, who co-wrote the screenplay Max Borenstein. The film stars Ben Affleck, Elise, blah blah blah. Hypnotic was released. Danny Rourke. Danny Rourke, an Austin Police Department detective, recalls to his therapist the abduction of his 7-year-old daughter. Convinced the heist has something to do with the disappearance, his daughter Rourke investigates. Rourke and Cruz, Vivian. Rourke arrives at the ranch. Later, Delrain is revealed to have survived the shootout. Oh, did I just ruin the movie for me?
This is not okay.
Is this the movie Hypnotic?
Mm-hmm. Stop reading. Just stop reading. Yes, that's a movie.
In theaters May 12th. Is it May yet? Oh, yeah, we're past May. I could probably see this on iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
I would be curious. You said his name's Sutcliffe, Daniel Sutcliffe. Is that what you said?
David
David
Sutcliffe.
Sutcliffe. Yeah, I would be curious if he's aware of it, and if he is aware of it, what he thinks about it.
Yeah. Oh, was he on?
It's really hot today.
Where are you? Oh, in Fort Bragg, Fort Myer, Don't tell me Fort.
If you watch the movie, then you'll understand.
I'll show you this guy, David Sutcliffe. Hold on.
It was Daniel Garrity. That's what I would get confused on the first name.
Here's the guy. And I started watching this, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I looked
He's on
up
the
this.
left for sure.
I looked up this guy on Instagram. There's a girl in the That guy looks 20 years younger if he shaves that beard off. He's got the same problem I do.
He's the guy from Gilmore Girls?
Yeah.
You ever watch that movie growing up? I mean, that show?
No, I don't even know what it is. Do you know what it is?
I mean, I've heard of it, but I think it was when it was playing was before I was alive, by like a couple of decades possibly. Maybe.
Gilmore Girls is an American comedy television series created by Amy Sherman.
60s, 70s?
The show debuted in October 5th, 2000. Oh, you're thinking of the Golden Girls.
Ah, yes. Yeah, Gilmore Girls in the 2000s? Wow, I would never have known that.
This show was from 2000 to 2006.
We're gonna have another disc golf show after I go to this tournament.
If you want.
If you want. You know that I want to.
I bit off more than I could chew with those shows.
Actually, I wouldn't have been able to keep up with them either. But Hiller wants to do it too. Maybe we should have a little threesome.
Oh, is he dying to do? He's dying to do some frisbee golf. He was talking to me about that. He said he was dying to do it.
Yeah, let's do a show. You, me, and Hiller post USDGC. Oh,
that sounds awesome. Bernie Gannon, I wonder if Sutcliffe and Tate compared their girls' collections.
This is Trish, by the way. Bernie's Trish.
And then I'm doing, and then tomorrow night, you know who else is coming on? Legend in the community. Driscoll's coming on. Yeah, Driscoll.
Dave Driscoll?
Yeah.
Have you got him on?
No, I've never even met the guy. I just know like of him from Instagram, and I know when I did my hair, I was copying him. I saw his hair, and I wanted to do that. Shave the sides.
Talk about Power Monkey. There's some people that are at Power Monkey that you should have on here.
Like who? Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Power Monkey. I wanted to. There was a great picture of you and Dave Durante. Tell me about Power Monkey.
The number one thing that I would say about Power Monkey Camp is more so as a coach than an athlete. I wish I had done that a long time ago. I went there. They have 10 stations there that you rotate through: gymnastic stations, Olympic lifting, endurance, rowing, jump rope. And these people are world-class experts in their field. And I would say, and I wrote a 3-part article or series of articles about this, where I kind of picked out the 1 or 2 things that were most impactful for me at each station. And it's obviously, I mean, imagine someone who's spent 20 plus years as an elite practitioner or coach or both in their discipline, that's then given the task of conveying a message in 2 hours or less to a group of people that they don't that have a wide degree of experience, ability, and whatever. And that's a very challenging thing to do. And then I attempted to, acutely attend and participate and listen to what these were going and pull out a couple things. And in every single case, there were at least 1 or 2 things that were communicated to me that in 10 years of doing CrossFit, no CrossFit coach at the level 1 or any gym I've gone to has communicated to me, that I thought
Like
were.
what? Tell me something. Tell me something.
And I'm not saying that these things don't exist out there, and
Right,
that there aren't coaches that are correcting them.
Right.
But just these are like very simple things. And I didn't realize how tight my hips were preventing my feet in the split jerk from being in the position that I perceived they were in. And in all of the years that I have been corrected in the jerk, including both times that I've gone to level 1, everything was focusing on my upper body, because I also tend to have an open rib cage and my shoulders are up and back, or not down and back. And this woman just came over and she took a picture of me. She moved my heel and she took another picture. And it was mind blowing. I thought that my back heel was in a totally different position than it was in. And anyway, that was just an example from the jerk station. The rowing station, super simple. When you get on the rower, get to the back of the seat. Everything else falls into alignment from there. Get your tailbone to the back of the seat.
Daniel Garrity, great show, Sevan and Brian. Well, fine. Then you get to go back to heaven. A little handy, never hurts. Audrey, I'll loosen your hips. Just let me. Sheesh. When you mean get on the back of the seat, you don't mean move the seat all the way to the back of the rail. You mean just
scoot
put your ass
tailbone up against the back part of it. And you get in a much better position from there. There's plenty of other stuff that you could do also, but that will eliminate most people's basic problems. And then I saw it happen with my group mates. And the coaches were good. I mean, I was impressed. Dave Durante totally fucked me up with the handstand station. I was so sore in my neck, upper back, mid back after that station, and we didn't do any handstands at all. Just doing the drills.
Did he know you were going to be sore?
He had us do this drill, and it was like 3 rounds of 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off, holding a specific position. 5 seconds into the first drill, my foot started cramping, and 3 seconds later, he goes, "Anyone's feet cramping yet?"
Wow. How many of those has he taught?
This was the 20th camp. He's been at every one of them. Dave Newman's been in every one of them. Man,
the jump rope guy, the jump rope guy's there.
Yep, I can do 100 double unders cold just walking to a gym and do them. I could probably do 50 unbroken double unders any point in a workout. I'm really good at crossover single unders, but I know now that I have less than optimal efficiency with jump rope, and it would take me 10 years of reversing a bad habit to make a 1-inch correction that would make me go from being able to probably do 100 to 300.
Oh shit.
I don't know if it's worth it for me with the goals that I have to undo 10 years of bad learning to make that 1-inch correction. But I absolutely, this is why I say as a coach, it's so much more valuable for me than an athlete. Now, I absolutely wish that I knew that stuff 5 years ago when I started coaching full time, because there's hundreds of people that I've interacted with that I could have done better by if I had had that exposure 5 years ago. Clip that one, tag Power Monkey Camp.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Chris Hinshaw was there. He's done, I think, 18 or 19 of the 20.
Wow.
Yep. Man, really, really impressive. Really impressive, the endurance station. Duke Van Fleet, who I'd never had met before, and Emily Bridgers were on the ring station. Phenomenal. I mean, it like redefined my own capacity for what I believe I can do on the rings, which I never have had a lot of confidence in.
I'm making a note. Take a clip from tonight's show, Brian talking about Tia and Laura, and make clickbait title.
Forget about Power Monkey.
No, Power Monkey's good. I just didn't want to forget. I gotta have. I should have Hinshaw back on. I've only had him on once. I've never had Durante on. That's stupid. I love Dave Newman. I can't believe I've never had him on. I've had so many people on.
Get Martone, Jeff Martone, dude. This guy with a kettlebell, it's insane.
I took the kettlebell course, the first one he ever taught.
He
for
makes
CrossFit.
it look so easy, and when he talks about it, it's just a million reps of practice of small things that makes a difference over time.
How many's he done?
I don't several. But that's another one. Like, I never have had exposure to a kettlebell coach like that. And I'm pretty good at kettlebell swings. Like, I could probably do 100 in a row in a workout if I needed to with the 53-pound kettlebell. But I'm nowhere near efficient with it. After that, I was like completely exposed. And I'm like okay with it. Like, I get it. But and it was one of those things where, like, they give you a cue and you're like, okay, I got that. And then they give you the next cue and you just completely forgot the previous one. And it's just like I was trying to get every part of my body was in the wrong position.
Oh, I just saw the thumbnail for the for the clip.
Okay.
Brian Friend tells us who is better, Laura or Tia. Pretty good, right?
I guess. Do those clips do well? Those little sub clip things?
Oh my God. The sub clip station is destroying.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, destroying. Anyone could have done it. Yeah, it's going to make someone rich here in a second. It's not going to be me. I'm so excited. God. Especially if you already listened to the show. If you already listened to the show, then just take. Mike
Service would be good to have on. He's the guy who teaches the snatch there. He's been to every single one as well.
Who's he? How come I don't know that name? Mike Service?
Yeah, he and Dave are they're like the main guys there. Chad Vaughn's there.
Oh, no shit. Yep. Strength and Faith, Mike Service. Oh, he has a ponytail.
He's got a ton of hair. He and Elijah Muhammad were doing the snatch station when I was there. It was great.
Power Monkey Camp. There he is. I don't recognize this guy. He was cool. Like, he talks good.
I really like Mike. I always have great conversations with him.
Holy shit. Wait till you see this video I just saw on his Instagram account.
He's currently squatting, like legitimately squatting every day for a year.
Oh yeah, day 260, day 246 of 365. Dude, that's crazy right there, dude. That is crazy.
He did a 400-pound overhead squat at 165 pounds body weight.
Wow. That's 225 pounds for a new best in the overhead Kozak squat. Maybe Cossack. 250 this year. You Cossack. Say Cossack, I say Kozak. I'm a kind of cozy person. Kozak. Wow, that's nuts.
I went on with these guys on their podcast sometime. I think I'll do another one with them.
When? Because I looked to see if you did any podcasts recently. I didn't find anything.
No, it's a while ago. Oh. Yeah, I haven't. Between Norway and Power Monkey, it was so busy. I couldn't even find the time to schedule a single one with Patrick. So, apologize. But yeah, really, I mean, I'm telling you, I've listed off almost every station by this point. The bar station was probably the most fun station. There's I feel like there's like the least instructional, informational stuff, and there was the most opportunity to inform and instruct once you were actually like doing stuff. And it happened to be our last station for our group, so that was super fun. Shane DeFreitas and Casey Clark were over there. They're both incredible movers, good communicators. It's good. I mean, it's really good. And the thing is, like, these camps sell out and no one's even really advertising them.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was still going on. There's so much shit I didn't. Did you know about there was a Hawaii trail run this year? I didn't even know that thing was still around. Yeah, in fact, some people that were there, their mental coach, Don Fletcher, and also Duke Van Vliet, came straight from there to here. Well, Don actually made a stop in
Aspen to coach this like crazy. You do the entire. It's like 29,029 is the thing. You do the full ascent of Everest, but you do like 8 trips up and a gondola down in a 36-hour period, and she coaches people through it. It's pretty wild.
Hey, can you throw a baseball?
Throwing is probably my least talent as a athletic talent.
Oh,
Like have you ever heard of the punt pass kick challenge, a football challenge?
no.
You start at one end zone, you punt the ball as far as you can from wherever it lands, not where it rolls, where it lands. You throw it as
Yeah.
far as you can from wherever it lands. You try to kick a field goal and you have to make it through the upright. I can do it, but my throw is pathetic compared to my 2 kicks.
Oh, and you're a soccer player.
Yeah, and I used to coach some high school kickers on the football team, so I figured out how to do that pretty well. I mean, they translate obviously between each other.
Audrey, my snatch is better than Brian's. I can help him with that.
There are, I've been on this trip. I've lifted with a lot of women that are competitive in CrossFit at various levels, including at the CrossFit Games, and many of them have better lifts than me, but not many of them are better at snatching than me.
Really? You have a good snatch?
Compared to every other lift, snatch and overhead squat is much, much, much better, disproportionately better than everything else.
I went to Athena Perez's seminar over the weekend, the Scaled Nation seminar, and she demos so many movements, and I could not believe what a great mover she was. I could not believe what a great mover she was. It was kind of crazy, and she doesn't even really warm up, and she's a large-bodied human being.
This was the one at Diablo?
Yeah, it was nuts watching her move. Like it's seriously like you can't even believe what she's doing.
Look
it was nuts.
Cheryl
Snatches, cleans, all that shit, jumping. It was pretty remarkable. Who?
Cheryl Hayworth, Haworth. She's also a coach at Power Monkey Camp. She set the record for the clean and jerk in I think 2010 or 11, and still holds the American record for it.
I see Cheryl Schaefer, Cheryl Marin, Cheryl what?
Haworth.
HAW. There's no Y. Oh, Hayworth weightlifting. Cheryl Hayworth. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, I recognize this chick.
She's American record holder for the clean and jerk. Coaches at Power Monkey Camp.
Are you kidding me? I bet you I've asked this chick to be on my podcast.
She's hilarious. You would love having her on.
Wow. I remember her when she was a little kid. She was coming up. She was in mainstream media.
Yeah, she's she's still the best U.S. lifter that we've ever had for the clean and jerk.
Oh, she did a conversation about race, huh? Oh, good. Oh, I can't wait to listen to this. I fancy myself as quite the expert on race.
Like
not racing.
Running. Oh.
No. Holy shit, she got the transgender flag up on Rich's chest. That's amazing. Here are a couple Freudian free associations.
I see some good podcast conversation possibilities.
Me too.
Anyway,
pinata. Oh, so she's okay with cultural appropriation. So am I. Look they got a pinata there. Oh, dude, you're coming on the podcast in a couple days.
Yeah, with Facundo.
Yeah, is that Facundo on the right there?
Yeah, it is actually.
With his mouth open? He kind of looks like a monkey in that picture.
We've been trying to schedule that since Madrid.
Hey, is that Danny Spiegel right there with her jacket open and her tongue out of her mouth on the left?
I think so, yeah.
And there's Alex Smith to her right with his... Wow, look at
Dave Durante right in the middle.
Yeah, I see him.
And then on the far right, there's Dave Newman.
Yeah.
The black guy next to him is Darnell. He coached the endurance station with Chris Hinshaw.
What's that guy's name? He looks so familiar. Does he work the games?
Darnell?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Jason Layden's in the back there on the left. He was at Power Monkey. He's been to 19 of the 20 camps.
Oh my God, that guy's been around
Get him.
forever.
And dude, you have to see if you can.
Does that
find
guy
this.
talk? What was that guy like? I remember that when that guy was like Rob Orlando's coach. He was
He speaks quite well. Yeah, I think he'd be great to have on. And dude, they had this break dancer come to the camp with his son. Go find this on Power Monkey Fitness. You'll
Rich is
this.
like Jesus. He loves everyone. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Say it again. What?
I want to see if we can go to Power Monkey's Instagram, Power Monkey Fitness or Power Monkey Camp. I don't know which one. On one of the nights, they had one of the best break dancers in the U.S. You know, break dancing is going to the Olympics next year.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
What? Did you see it?
No, I'm looking at this. This is crazy. I heard on the radio. I got this book autographed by. I worked with. I don't know if I should go into this. I heard on the radio today that it's Annie Leibovitz's birthday. Then a few hours later, I walked by beneath my sister's coffee table, who's coincidentally with me in New York City for this photo shoot, and the subsequent keeper of the random Cheryl memorabilia. Susan Sontag was a complete fucking psychopath, fucking abusive fucking human being. Like brutal, wild feminist, fucking abused poor Annie Leibovitz.
Yeah, these are outside of my area of expertise.
But Leibovitz, I got this crazy book autographed by Leibovitz once. And one time I saw Annie Leibovitz in a coffee shop in Berkeley, and I walked up to her, and she was a fucking bitch to me. I don't know why. I just watched a documentary on her.
I think if you were going to get a disc, this would be your disc, Sevan.
The Annie Leibovitz disc?
Can you read that word?
But it's just interesting that, me and this girl, I should have this girl on my podcast. I agree. I think we have some talking to do.
That disc is called Truth.
Yeah, I can see that. That feels like my disc.
You want to look up this break dancer? Oh man, we're down the rabbit hole now.
Oh my God.
I only had to mention 10 people.
Oh my
God. You found the one that you want to talk to.
How is USA weightlifting? Do they have like Navy SEAL month? Why would they be celebrating sex stuff?
Do you want me to send you the link to this other thing?
I guess that's cool. I like sex too. Is that Christmas Abbott right here? Who's this girl on the left? No, it's not.
Whatever.
Oh my God.
You
so just so you know that I'll let you go before I go into this fucking rant. No one in the gay community likes that flag anymore anyway. It doesn't represent anyone who's gay. They fucking hate it. They've thrown it away. They're done with it.
Dude, there's going to be, here, I'm sending you this, okay?
Okay, yeah. Get me on to a different subject.
Get me on private chat. You're going to like this one too, I promise you. This guy came there. You're going to like what you see, but I'm going to tell you, if you talk to this guy, you would like even better what you hear from him. He's a really, really cool guy. I was impressed.
Oh, how tall is he? Oh my goodness, this guy's cool as shit. Yeah. I do like this. Wow. Wow.
Check out his son.
Hey, and you know what's crazy is breakdancers usually have like really good breakdancers have kind of weird bodies. This guy has like a normal body.
This was so sick.
You saw this guy?
Yeah, I'm right there in the background.
Oh, I think I saw Pamela Gagnon.
You could literally see me. She wasn't there, but you could literally see me clapping in the background. Stay at the beginning of the clip. Watch this. This first, I think it's the next clip. This.
Oh, backflip into forward roll. That's not.
He created that move on accident.
Like saving a crash. Like saving a crash.
Yeah, and he has a name for it, and he talks about like of what that's called, crash to create or something like that. He's got. I mean,
that's his son.
He's got 5 kids. It's his only son. His son's ranked 8th in the nation for his age. This guy's he's one of 3 people who has a chance to take 2 spots for the U.S. to the Olympics next year, and it's either going to be him or his partner that makes it. His dancing part, like his best friend, basically. One of them's going to go, one of them's not, is what it sounds like.
What a beautiful smile he has.
Get this guy on the podcast, dude.
Yeah.
He's got huge dreams and ambitions for breakdancing, for the kids, for creating opportunities for. I mean, he, came from a rough
What's his name?
background.
What's his name?
I don't know his last name. I think it's Miguel something.
Son of a bitch. Should I just take a stat? Oh yeah. I'm gonna type in Miguel B-boy dancer. Miguel B-boy. Nope, that's the wrong guy. Oh yeah, B-boy Gravity from Cardboard to Team USA. Oh, this is cool. Oh yeah, Miguel Gravity. Miguel. Okay, I'm gonna send him a DM right now. Thank you. You're a good dude. All right. Here we go. Oh my goodness, my DMs are scary. Do you do DMs?
Yeah. But that's not like yours.
Miguel, hi. Oh, I'd love to have you on my. You gotta have Dave Durante on it too.
Boz was there that week and his wife
Yeah, that's cool.
at Power Monkey, and it was amazing, dude. They just blended in. If you didn't know, you would never have known who he was. Same with Fisa Gaffi. So cool. She took the whole camp as if she was a camper. And if you didn't know that she was at the CrossFit Games this year, you would never have known. She's awesome.
How does she look? She going to the games next year?
She looked phenomenal. Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
I'm glad we could do it.
What a cast of oh look, thank you, Patrick. Miguel Rosario.
Patrick and I will do a show tomorrow too.
We'll
talk about all the things that you didn't want to talk about.
Oh, okay. You are doing a show tomorrow?
Yep.
Is it scheduled?
Patrick, is it scheduled?
I'm going to your YouTube page right now. Be Friendly Fitness.
Probably.
The algorithm lives. Are you going live?
Yep. From Fort Wayne Airport.
Patrick, schedule that shit up, yo. I don't see it. Son of a bitch, Brian.
Don't play me.
The buck stops with you, buddy. Let me see. Where's Patrick? Is he in here? Patrick, schedule it. Oh, hey, where's Miguel? Chad's asleep. Oh, is Chad the guy who does scheduling? Give me your login. I'll schedule it right now. Go ahead.
Ready? Okay. My email is Brian.
No. Don't give me your Franco Morris. Brian, we miss you. Come on regularly.
My password is Sevan is God, but all of the vowels are actually numbers.
Good, smart. Sevan, if you can throw a frisbee as good as you say, why not play disc golf? Because I don't have time for that.
When I come visit you, we are playing disc golf.
Yeah, we will. Totally different. By the way, totally different. Not even related, really. Not even like barely transferable, to tell you the truth. Barely transferable. Those discs are so unique and individualized, and it's almost. But I'll show you. Yeah, I'll show you.
And we can play regular frisbee too.
All right. Thank you, everyone. See you guys tomorrow morning. Sutcliffe in the morning, and David Hippensteel in the evening. Dave Driscoll in the evening.